Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Microsoft Office Tools course taught on coolchat.com. If you are accessing this material on YouTube, this is a course taught on coolchat.com, and to access the course content, you need to go to Courses, Information Technology. Then we take Microsoft Office Tools. This is our week 2. So we've already considered week 1 content already. So this is the first time in this video. We've already done week 2, week 1, so you can refer to the week 1 content. This is a continuation of the course. So what are we going to learn today? For week 2, we will learn about how you can set text fonts, how you can set font size, how you can change text case, how you can change text color, how you can align your text, how you can indent your paragraphs, and how you can bold, italics, underline, strike through your text, and how you can use the subscript and superscript, and how you can create lists like the bullets, then the numbering bullets in the rest, numbering lists in the rest, then set line spacing, and also how you can border a text or a page, and how you can have shades of a text. So to access the content, you click on the gradation curve. You want your attachment, then you scroll at the bottom on the home page of the course. You see chat to subscribe, log into coolchat.com. If you don't have an account, it means you need to create an account. And once you come to this home page of the course, you'll be able to chat with me by sending me a message, and I can also reply you as well. Okay, so I'm going to zoom my browser so we can see the text a little bit bigger. So setting text fonts before beginning to type. So if you are typing and you know your font is going to be of a particular type and size, then you can as well make those settings before you start typing. Other than that, you need to select all your text and format them by placing them in the appropriate font type and the font size. Now, if you go to the home of your Word documents, the fonts are located over there. So as you can see, by default, it is the Calibri body, and the font size is 11. So if you have to change it, then you need to select this drop down over here. Then if you want to change the size, so you need to select this drop down size. So for formal documentation, the font type that is used is Times New Roman. So if you are doing formal documentation, like you are writing application for unemployment, or if you are writing your CV, or if you are doing any assignment for schoolwork, if your school did not specify the kind of font that you should use, then you should use the formal font types, which is the Times New Roman. So you just select this place and then you choose the Times New Roman. But as I explained in the slide, now you realize that anytime you choose any of these font stars, anytime you choose any of them, it will automatically change the font type over here. So it means that if you choose Times New Roman here and you choose no spacing, it will automatically change the Times New Roman to Calibri again. So it's choose the star before you choose the font type and the size. So let's take an example. So I'm going to start my Microsoft Word. Then I can illustrate to you what I'm talking about. So in your documentation, if you are making the setting before you start the typing, then it will be appropriate for you to select the font styles first before you choose the font type and size. Other than that, when you go and choose the star or the setting or the selections for your font type and size will change again. And the formal documentation, most often is no spacing that we use. So if you use the no spacing, then if you need to space a particular part of your document, then you also talk about how you can set the line spacing between your paragraphs. So for formal documentation, you need to click on no spacing. That's the font styles. Then the font type is Times New Roman. And the font size is 12. So these are the things you need to take note of. Okay. So let's say, for example, if I have selected Times New Roman, I've selected my 12. Okay. Now, please take note. Now, if I click on no spacing, you realize that all the selections I've done will be put because this will change back. So if I click over here, as you can see, it has changed to Calibri this. So it means the previous selection I did is useless because anytime I change any of those, the font change. So it's better to select the font style first. So as you can see, if you select any of those, the font type change. So it's better to select the font styles first. So once you've set your font styles, then you can set your types of the font types and the size. Okay. So for official documentation, this is the font styles that you should be using. No spacing. The font type is supposed to be Times New Roman, and the font size is supposed to be 12. Okay. So now, for demonstration of our course content, we need some text in our Word document to demonstrate some of these things for you. So I'm going to copy my profile on the website for the course so that we will use it as the text for demonstration for this lesson. So on the on the course homepage, there is instructor profile. So I'm going to copy that, use it as the content for the Word document, so that we can have some text on the document. So I don't need to type it. If I'm demonstrating something, then you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. If I go to the home page, there's a home page. So like I said, if you have to contact me, then you need to log in or create an account, and you come to the home page. Okay. So at the bottom, log in or create an account to chat with your instructor. So once you log in, it becomes chat with an instructor, so you can send me a message. Okay. So now I've copied, so I'm going to paste it over here. I'm going to paste it. As you can see, now the font types, the font style, the font size has changed. Okay, because I copy from the website. And normally, when you copy from the website, it normally uses the site styling. It normally uses the site styling, so you need to style it again. Okay, so I'm going to style. If this is an official document, then to style the text which has already been pasted on the Word document, you need to highlight the parts that you want to style. So if you want to style the entire text, then like we've seen in our previous lessons, that if you want to select everything, you press Ctrl O. So while you're on your workspace of your Word document, you press Ctrl A. With Ctrl A, you select everything. Or you can drag, you can either drag from the end to the bottom. So anyhow you select everything. But the easiest one is the shortcut key, Ctrl A. So Ctrl A, select everything. So once you've selected, then you can do the appropriate setting. So like I told you, first you need to select your no spacing first. Then you can select your type of font. Then you can select your size. Okay. So if this is an official document, this is the setting you should be doing. You should be using for your documentation. Okay. So that is it. So now you can space it. So if we learn a section, then we apply it to document we apply them on our documents. So now I want to separate. So to write paragraphs, we separate the paragraphs by one space. Okay, so each of the new paragraphs. So you yourself, you do that proper space. So most of them you separate each of the lines by just one space. So like last week, I taught you how to move the text. So to make a space, you just put the cursor at the beginning end of the text. Then you press enter. So it moves that line of text downward. Okay. So let's take a picture, then we apply it on our document. So basically today we will be considering about what we have in the river here. Okay. So last week we did find and replace. So today we will be talking basically about the ones we have over here. Okay. So we go back to our first concept. So I've explained times. So the former font is times New York. The style is no spacing, so you need to select the style first before the font. Other than that, when you made a setting for the font type and size, if you choose the style to change to the default, so you better to choose the style before choose the font size and type. This is the default, the formal settings for your fonts that you should have when you are writing formal documents. But if your school specify a particular font and size, and you can adjust to the fonts being requested for. Okay, so setting font size for selected text, that's what we did. We selected all the text, then you set the font type and size. Now, if you want for only particular portion of your text, you can still also highlight that part. So if I want this part to be of a particular font size, I can highlight it. So once I've highlighted it, I can choose the font size and the type or the style I want. So if you want only for a particular portion, you can highlight it, then you can choose the appropriate setting that you want. Now, change text case. So we use a text case icon or button. So as you can see, we have capital A and small a. So that's the case of your text. Okay. So in case we want to make all our headings to be in capital block, this one is already in capital letter, so you don't need to change it. But this one is in small letter, so if in case all our headings you want them to be in capital, you can just select the text. So to change a text to a particular case, you select the text. Once you select the text, you go to the case button or icon. So when you click on it, the drop down option comes. So sentence case. So that one, it will sentence the case for sentence. Every beginning of a sentence should start with the capital letter. So it will use that format. Now, if you want to lowercase, it will change all the text to a lowercase. If you want sentence case, at the beginning of every sentence, we use capital block. So that's why you are saying the G changing to capital G. Then uppercase, it changed everything to uppercase. So as you can see, the text has changed to uppercase. Then to capitalize each word. So each word in the sentence, each will be capitalized. So here we have two words. We have Godwin and Ashon. So it will capitalize each of the words. Okay. So the beginning will be capital block, the rest will be small letter. The beginning will be capital block, the rest will be small letter. Then to toggle case. To toggle case, it means if the first one is capital small, the other one will be capital in the order. So that's to toggle case. So if we choose this one, you can see it. So we have the beginning one being small, then the rest being capital, and the beginning one being small, the rest being capital. So based on what you want to use this concept for, you can do that. So the beginning word is lowercase, then the rest capital. The beginning, so the first letter of your word is lowercase, and the rest are capital. So the first letter is lowercase, and the rest are capital. But I said all our headings, if we decide to make this capital case, then we just use this one to uppercase. Okay. So we have this one to uppercase. And that one already in uppercase, and the other one already uppercase. Okay, so we're done with changing text case. So you just press on the case icon and you choose the appropriate text you want. Then changing text font size. So to change the font size, the font color of the text, you just have to highlight the text. Then here is the font color. So when you click on it, there will be a drop down of the colors. Okay, so by default it's on black. So and normally it goes back to your previous color that you use. So if I want to change, maybe this is just for demonstration, I won't do it after we're done. So most often when you highlight a text, the simple ones drop down dialog comes, so you can as well select the option you want. So if I want to change the color here, I can as well change the color over here. So I can choose maybe red color, okay, and I can as well change it over here. So you can as well change it over here. So when you highlight a text, there's a drop down beside it. So you can change it. If you highlight everything, then of course, then you have to change it over here. So you can change everything to the black color. So that's about changing the text color. Okay. So in the word content, in our this week content, there were some features I left out in the content. So I will just describe it in the video. Then later I can update my documents for this week content. So there are other features as well we can consider as well, since we are using this part of the main features in this area. So now, if you want to increase your font size, so you can as well use this button. So if you click, it increases. If you want to decrease, then you use this one. So as you can see, the highlight. So we have decrease, then we have increase. Okay. So if you click on it, it makes the font size increase. So it keeps on increases. It keeps on increasing. Okay. So if you want to decrease it, you just decrease it. So the font that the text that you want to apply this increase and decrease, you highlight them. So once you've highlighted, you can click on these icons or buttons to increase or decrease your font. Then you also have the text shadow. So if you want your text to be in any of these shadows, you can as well choose them as you want. If you want your text to have maybe an outline, you want them to be of this or any of these outline, you want them to have a shadow. Okay. So normally we use these ones to decorate your font a piece of personal stuff, or you are using it for a project that you need to apply these effects. Okay. So you use them. So if you want any of these font styles, then you can use them as well. Now, if you want to highlight your text, maybe you want to give it some. For example, if I want to highlight this particular text, maybe to indicate something or to highlight the main point or something, I can select it. I can choose the background highlight. So here it's for the background. Here is the font color, but here is the background of the text. So it highlights the text. Okay. So if you choose no color, nothing will be highlighted. But if you choose any of this color, the text will be highlighted. Okay. So if you highlight a text as well, to make it more readable, you can change the color of the text. So For example, if I highlight this one here, I can change the color to maybe white, so that it makes it a little bit readable. So however you decide to do it. Okay. So that's for highlighter. So to highlight, we use this icon. To highlight, use that one. So if you decide to remove the highlight, you select your text, then you click on no color, then it will remove the highlight. Remember, I changed it to white, so it means I have to change it back to the black. It means I have to remove the highlight. So that's it. So if you need a shadow around the text effect and typography, use this one. If you want to highlight, use this one. If you want to increase the size, whilst you increase, you click on either here or here is for increasing and decreasing. So you choose the appropriate button. Now, if you want to change the case of your text, you use this part. Now we are on the text decoration. So in the text decoration, it's either we use the bold, italic, underline, or we strike our text. Underline has a number of options that you can use to underline. So I'm going to bold all our headings. So to do that, we just highlight your text. So I'm going to highlight my heading. I can bold it over here, or I can bold it over there. So however you want. Okay. So if I decide to bold it over here, then I'll just click over to bold my text. I'll highlight all my headings. I'll bold them. For demonstration's sake, you can also use the italic. So italics climbs it. So that's what the italics does. It climbs the text. You underline the text. Okay. Now the underline, there are many options or styles you can use. If you want double underline, you can choose this one. If you want thick one, you can choose this one. If you want the dotted one, you can choose this one. If you want this star, you can choose that one. If you want any of them, if you want this one, you can choose that one. If you want to change the color of your underline, you can just click over here and change the color of your underline. So however color you want, you can just choose. Okay. So that is the underline. Now to strike a text, as you can see, even the icon, you just cross a line through the text. So if you want to strike a text, you need to highlight the text, then you can click on strike, so you strike the text. So maybe in your documentation you want to indicate that you cancel something, or maybe if there is a price which we have the old and the new one, then you cancel the old one, show the new one beside it. So that's it for the text declaration. So I can go back to previous stuff. Okay. So for the subscript and superscript. So normally if you are writing for example mathematical figures, for example 2 raised to the power maybe 4, so the power is a superscript. Then so you first of all have to write your figure, then you press on the superscript if you are using the superscript. So once you press on it, the cursor moves to the top, then you can type in your superscript value. Okay. So once you are done, you need to press it again. And that's everything that you type with the superscript. So you have to be selected. So you need to press that same place again, so that it changes it from the superscript to the whole text. So once you click, you can see that now the arrow is full. Now if I want to demonstrate the sub one to YouTube, if I click on the sub, you can see that the cursor goes to the bottom. So the sub is below and the superscript is up. So now if I enter something, you see that it has been written the superscript over there. That's the difference between the superscript. So remember, if you finish, you just need to click that same place so that it will deselect it again. Now you can highlight a text and also make it either subscript or superscript. So text, then be sub. Okay. So if I want this one to be subscript, I can highlight it. Then I choose the subscript. So if I want it to be a subscript, so as you can see, then if I want it to be superscript, I can also make it superscript. Then if I decide to change my mind, then you can click that same place again. It will not be going back to the default one. So that's it for subscript, superscript. So what else have we done? So let's go back to our text. So we've done the text color change. Now we are on text alignment. So text alignment is how you position your text. So by default, your text are being aligned to the left. So that's normally the formal one. But in some places or some schools, they prefer the justified one. So based on the one that you are being requested, you align your text with the appropriate one. Now, as you can see, the various alignment. So if you want to align the text to the center, then you use the center align. So center gets aligned to the center. And you also have the shortcut key for them. So to center is Control E. So Control E will center your text. So this one is left alignment. This one is center. This one is right alignment. And the last one is justify. So as you can see, we have all the shortcut keys. So Control L is to position the text to the left. Control E, you center the text. Control R, you position the text to the right. Then justify, to justify the text content, taking the necessary space. So the right one, the right alignment, normally we use it in the footer and the header. If we want to position some text to the left and the right for our letterhead or the footer, then normally we use this position. So based on the position that you need, you can select. So I'm going to select our documents, then you choose all the positions, then you can have the feel of how they are. So I'm going to highlight everything. So this is by default the left one. So I'm going to choose the center. So if you press Ctrl E or you press E side to center all your text. So as you can see, each of the texts have been centered. So if this is what you want to, based on what the way you want to display your text. So if you press Ctrl, if you highlight your text and you press Ctrl E to enter all your text for you. Now if you want to right align, then you put it there. So it will position all your text at the right hand side. So as you can see, that's the right align. So if you have to do something, you need this type of styling. But basically, most often we use this one for our footer, where maybe we have some information over here. We have some information over here. So here you highlight the text and you position it to the left. Then those ones that will come here, you highlight the text and position it to the right. So here are the documents. When you double click at this section, it's what we call the header. Okay, so you can type in most often we use it for our letterheads. So you can type in the information you want for the header over here. Now if you double click the button to score the footer, so whatever you type here, it's later on will come to the header and the footer, our subsequent content. So in the footer to whatever you type here, so whatever you type in the footer and the header, they will be appearing in the subsequent pages. Okay, so normally we use them if we want some content to appear in the subsequent pages. Then we use the footer and the header. So basically, if you have your letterhead, some letterheads have some information at the right, others also at the left. So you use the appropriate text alignment to design your header and your footer. So I'm going to select the position in the way it is, or we can control X. But let's try the justify as well. So for the justify, it's justify the text. So the justify looks almost like the left align, just that it's use the appropriate space of your text. So to be doing the arrangement for you instead of aligning it to justify the text itself. Okay. So as you can see the difference. So to use the appropriate space that you have. So even though it's all positioned at the left, but you can see that there were some spaces around over here, but justify has filled those spaces over there. So that's basically that for the justify and the center. So most often, to be a good typist, you need to know the shortcut by heart. So you don't have to be moving to the buttons or the icons to click on them. When you highlight, you just press the shortcut key, then you just highlight them. So in many, for example, if you are going to write an application letter, the heading normally we put the heading, then we underline the heading. So for example, maybe you want to write application for employment, so you need to press Ctrl E to center your text. Then if you want to bold it, Ctrl B will bold it. Then you can write the heading. So application for employment. Okay. In most cases it's been bold, so it's been underlined. So then you can press your Ctrl U or you use the underline option. So either of them, then you can underline it. Okay. So this is to center the text. You just press either here or Ctrl E to just center the text for you. So that's the demonstration of text alignment. Okay. So we continue. So indenting a paragraph. So as you can see, sometimes you may need to indent your paragraph to style it the way you want it. So to indent, we have decrease indent button and increase indent button. So the ones that you want. So the indent normally shifts the text more closer to the center. So it moves away from the left side. So once you click, you just move the text. Just move the text to the appropriate. And when you click on the other side too, then it also move the text closer to the left. So we can highlight our text and you see the effect of this. Okay. So here we have the indenting over here. So to decrease indent, when you press, it moves our text closer to the right. So it moves the text closer to the right, left. So decrease moves it to the left. As you can see the arrow over there. Okay. So it decreases, it moves. So it moves away from the default margin that we have. So if you click here, it moves it away from the margin. So this one is toward the margin, and this one is. So if you want to decrease the indenting of your paragraph, then you can press over here. Okay. So the more you press, the more it shifts from the left. Okay. So based on what you need to do. Okay. So once it gets to the limits, then that's it. It cannot move anymore. Okay. So we continue. So we'll see more about different types of the indenting that you can use. So you have the first line indent. You have the first line indent. Then you have the right indent, which you shift the text to the right side. Then you have the left indent. By default, it's already left indent. Then you have the hanging indent. Okay. So you see the explanation of all of them. So the first line indent, only the first line of the paragraph is indented. So the first line indent, only this first line will be indented. There will be a little bit space for the first line, but the rest will be normal. Okay. So normally this was the old way of rewriting the paragraph. You leave a space on the first line and you start to write. Okay. But in the modern time, of course, based on what you are doing and the way you write, but now we separate paragraphs from each other by just leaving a space between the text. So you know that this paragraph has ended. But for some reason, if you want to use the indenting to separate the paragraph, then for this one, use the first line indent. Then this one, you can use the hanging indent. So the right indent, all lines of the paragraph are indented in relation to the right margin. So you indent it in relation to the right margin. So by default, we have the left indent, so which is in relation to the left margin. So the right indent in relation to the right margin. So if you are indenting the right one, then it will be in relation to this side. For the left, in relation to this side. Or the paragraph. Okay. Then the hanging indent. Now to change this other indentation, then you need to. So the hanging indent, we have the other lines being indented. So the other lines are being indented, but the first line begins at where it is. It's more like the opposite of the first line indent. Now to change this particular indent, you need to follow these steps. So you need to click on the paragraph. So on the paragraph group, you need to click on this group icon to show the more option of the paragraph. So once you click, the paragraph dialog box will show. Then on the special, you can choose the type of indent you want to use. Okay. So I'll highlight some of mine. So for here, if I highlight this place, okay, and I click on my paragraph, this one, paragraph setting, for this more option to show for the paragraph dialog. So when I click on it, on the special, I can choose the type of indenting I want to use. So first line, if I choose first line, then it will give you a preview of how your text is going to be. So it shows you the preview of your text. So here you can see that in the text line, the first line option, the first line has been indented. So if you are okay with it, you just press on OK. Then we have the size of the indent. So if you want to increase it, can increase it. So as you can see, when I'm increasing it, then it is increasing. The indentation is increasing. Okay. So that's it. So it leaves that indent that you want over here. At the first line, we'll have that line space on the left side. So if I click on OK, then you can see that it has been indented. So if I don't want it, then I can. So we check the other option as well. So if you choose the hanging one, so you can see the hanging one. The other ones, the first line will begin at where it is, and the other ones will be indented. So any subsequent lines will be indented. The first line begins at where it is. So when you choose those special indentation, then you can see the preview of it. So if that's what you want, then you can choose it as well. Okay. So, but for the left and the right, we use this one. So based on what you want to do. But for the first line and the angling, then you have to click on this one to get the special indentation. Then you can just choose the one that you want. Okay. We've done the text declaration already. So for bold, we click on the bold or Control B. For italics, so italics lines it. So you choose Control I, or you click on the italic option. So on the line, you use the Control U, or you use the line option. To strike the text, you can just highlight the text and you press the strike button or icon to strike it. And we've done the subscript and the superscript already. Then we are now on creating list. Okay, so if you want bullets, you use the first option. So there are a number of bullets you can choose from. So in my objective, course objective, so I can bullet my course objective. So bullet more than one of them, then you can just click on highlight all the text, then you choose. The first one is the bullet. So if you click on it, it will use the latest one that you used, or the default one. So when you want to change the options, then you can just click on the drop down, then you can choose the option that you want. So any of the options you choose, that will be the bullets you use. So based on now, if you want to remove the bullet, when you click on it again, then the bullet disappears. So once you click on it again, then it means you no longer want the bullet. So that's any of the bullets that you choose. That's good. So once you bulleted it, it will be highlighted. If you don't want to bullet it, you deselect it, then it will then disappear. So I'm going to bullet each bullet is for so you choose the bullet that you prefer. So let's say I use this one. So that is it for bullet. Then we have different types of bullets. If you want to use the normal bullet, then you can choose any of them. So if I want to use this one, if I want to use this type, I choose it. If I want to use that type, so you can see how it is. Yes. So once you select it, it's being highlighted. If you don't want it again, just press again, then it disappears. So if you don't want it now, so if you want this type, you press that one. Now if you want this way of writing, so you can also choose it. If you are for this way of doing your bulletin, you can choose them as well. So however you want it to be, you choose. Okay. So that is it for bulletin. So I'm going to choose this one. So that's for bulletin. We move on to So the correct bullets that you have to show. Then indenting a list. Okay. So sometimes we may want to move the bullet a little bit away from the left margin. So to do that, you just right click on the bullet. So when you right click on the bullet, it gives you the option adjust list indent. Okay, so when you click on the list indent, okay, so adjust list indent will give you the type of indent you can use. Okay, click on the, so I have to click on the bullet. So you click on the bullet, you right click on it. Remember, right click and you choose adjust list indent. Then you choose the indentation that you want. So test indent at. So this is where it is indenting at. So if you want to increase it or decrease the indentation, then you can as well change it. Now, if you want to move it a little bit away from the margin, a little bit away from the left, then you can as well choose it. Now, the space between your bullet and the text tool, if you want it to decrease, then you can as well change it. Okay. So this one is from the margin to the indent from the margin. Then the text from the bullet between the bullet and the text. If you want to increase, then you can also as well increase that one. And to increase between your text and your bullet. Okay. Okay. This position from first level. Position first level. Right. The option you choose. Go back to fourth one. So choose this one. Yes. Click on here and change. Okay, so this is the basic one. So I can change the indentation. So it is the text indent. So from the bullet and the text. Okay, so if you want the bigger space from the bullet and the text, just this one. So as you can see, it's moved. Then if you want that away from the left margin, you can also use this one. So this one is away from the left margin, the bullet itself. So if I want it to be a little bit closer, so if I want it to be at the margin itself, then it's supposed to be 0. So I choose it to be 0 to make it be at the beginning margin. sometimes based on what you want. So if this gap from the bullet and the text is too much, then you have to right click it. So when you right click on the bullet, and reduce the text and the distance, so you can decrease it. Decrease it to the one you want. So that looks for bullets and indenting the bullets. So like you have to right click on the bullets, then you click on adjust list indents, then you can enter the figures that you want. Now these are away from the left margin. This is between the bullets and the text. So how you want it. Then set line spacing. So by default, your line spacing is 1. So if you want space between your lines, your paragraph lines, then you can choose it. So maybe the space between your lines of your text lines, you want to increase it a little bit. Sometimes when you type in, you want the text to cover the page because you have few text. You can change. This is the line spacing icon or button. So you just click on it. So by default, it is at 1. So we can increase it to the ones you want to plan. There will be some little space in it so that it can cover the space that you want. So you can just choose any of the space that you want. Okay. But this one made me to move to my second page. So if I want only one page, then I still have to maintain my this one. Maybe it moves it to. So you can, based on what you are doing. Okay. Yeah. So this one is manageable. I can push this to the next line. Okay. So in the line, whatever you are doing in this and that you want to use. So I'll go this one. So I believe you are safe. So that is for spacing. So if you want to space a particular text, so in Word, what you can do an effect for everything, you can select a caption or a text, then you do the kind of effect that you want. If you want to change the font type for that particular one, you just select and you change the font size. If you want to change the font size, you select that one, you change the font size. If you want to change the color, you select that one, you change the color. So if you want only some particular part of your text, you can highlight it, then you can then do the necessary settings so that it will affect that one. And if you want for everything, then you control or to select everything, then you can choose the appropriate option that you want. Okay. So we move on. So line spacing options. So if you want to enter your own line spacing, then you can click on line spacing option. So it will show the paragraph dialog that we saw. So that will place to you can make some few changes to the line spacing that you have. So if I want to change the line spacing for this one, so when I click on the paragraph dialog, so there's line and page. Okay, but this is what we want. So the spacing, so you can have before and after. So you can change the values. So maybe I want this one to this. This is before. Okay. So that's before. You do like that, you see the after. So if I want the after, you do like this. Okay. So the after text, you see that then that's giving more space. Then before the text, so at the top, before the text, and after is after the text, the space that you want after the text. Before the text, the space that you want. Use the paragraph option for it. Any effect that you do, you can see it over here. based on what you are doing, you can come here and do the necessary setting. So to choose the additional one, this is by the options that you have. So 1.1, all these options. Okay. So if you want more, you choose the line spacing option. To show the paragraph dialog, then you can do the necessary setting that you want. Okay. Then we are on the last session, borders and shades. So borders and shades help you to put borders around a text or the entire page or paragraph. So however you want it. So we have 3 sessions of this. Here we add borders with text. So to add borders with text, you have to select the text you want to border. Then you click on borders and shades icon. So you click on this icon. Then there will be a drop down list. So you choose the one you want. So we have the pictorial view of the one. If you want the bottom, only the bottom to be bordered, you choose this one. If you want the top here, if you want the left, you choose this one. If you want the right, you choose this one. If you want to take off the border, you choose this one. If you want all borders around it, you choose this one. If you just want an outline, you choose this one. If you want inside borders, you choose this one. If you want inside horizontal borders, you choose that one. So you can highlight your text and choose the ones you want. Okay. So in the notification, I bordered the about this side of. Okay. So I put a border around here. Okay. So to put a border, like we said, you highlight the text. So once you've highlighted the text, you look for the border icon or button, which is over here. So when you click on it, by default, it has chosen the bottom on that. If you want the top, you click on it. Okay. So here, it has both bottom and top. Okay. If you want that of the left, you click on here. It has given it left. If you want the right, you click on it. Right. Okay. So all of this, you can just choose all borders to put the border around it. Just the same way of putting it one by one. Okay. So based on what you want to do, so all borders is already on each of the borders have been bordered. Now when you click there again, it selected. So if you don't want it again, you just click that place again and it should be selected. Okay. So let's choose outside borders and let's see what happens. So nothing shows. So you can try the options that you want. Border it takes out all the borders that you want. Okay. All the borders that you already choose. The inside borders. Okay. So great. So that is it. So let's choose that one. Now we can border it. So maybe you want to focus on so you want to have this start to your document, so you can just border that text around it. So add borders to page. Then to add borders to page, you use the same. So you click on your borders option. But this time you choose borders and shading this side, the last option. So once you choose this option, page border, then choose the appropriate one that you want. If I want 3D, then I can choose this one. If I want a shadow, so if I want 3D, I can choose this one. Then you can choose the thickness. So the style that you want. So if I want this kind of style, I choose it. So anything you choose, it shows over here. So if I want the color, maybe to be this color, then say that it has changed here. Then the thickness, if you want to customize the thickness, then you can choose over there. Now if you want to apply, if you have multiple pages, if you have multiple pages and you want it to be at only one particular section, you can choose this drop down. So this one will be only on the first page. Okay. Then if you are at a particular page, then it will be or except if you don't want that for the first page, for the other one, but not the first page. So or except the first page. Then if you are at a particular section, then only that section. So for the entire document, you use the whole document. So based on the option you want, you can select where you should apply to. Okay. Now here too, you can deselect. This is all borders. So if you want for a particular area, you can also be taken to either, if you deselect it, it will take it off. So if I want to deselect this part, I just click on it, the bottom, it will deselect it. If I want it back again, I can click on it again. If I want that of the top to vanish, I can click on it. If I want it again, I click on it to bring it back. If I want this side to go, I click on it. If I want it back, I click it again. If I want this side to go, I click on it. If I want it back, I click again. So once you are satisfied, then you just click on OK. Then it will border it for you. So based on what you are doing and the kind of border you want, then you can just border your page how you want it. Okay, so this is how my page looks like now. Okay. So yeah. So based on what you want to do, so maybe you may want to have this on the cover page. So on the cover page, if that's the cover page option, then if there are multiple pages, so for example, if I have other pages, okay, so let's say page 2 content comes in. So you can see that because I said whole document, page 2 has also been bordered. Okay. So if I want the border to really affect the page 1, so if I go to the borders, then I'll choose the option to pages. So I can choose where. So if I want only first page only, then I can click on here. So it means the second page will not be bordered. So as you can see, the second page does not have any border. So maybe your first page is the cover page. That's the front page of your document. So that's the only place you want to be bordered. Then you apply it over here. So in that option, you choose that particular option. Then in case you want only the border to apply to this page, then you where the current session. This is the current session. We are on page 2. So you choose that option to apply only to that session. So in that session, move the page borders. So you choose this session. So if you want to border everything but except the first one, if you want to border everything except the first one, then you choose so this section is where we are. So it will give the page to that section. So if you want to remove everything except the first page, so you want to border the other page, but the first page you don't want to border it, then you choose that one. Okay. So based on the one you want. So So if you want, you have 5 pages. So let's say I have 3 pages. I only want that for a particular section. Then I just click on it. So let's say page 3 content. So page 3 content. So now if I remove the borders, so I remove the borders. So if I don't want any this, I can just take them off. So I can just take them off. So if I want for only page 2, so I'm on that section. Okay, so when I click, I have to use this section of page border. So apply this section. Okay, so you choose the type. So if I want to use 3D, you choose the thickness, the style you want, you can choose the color you want. Okay, which option did I choose? I choose all documents. So have borders page. So this time I want only this section. So I'm on page 2. So I want only for page 2. So you can choose the color you want. You can choose the style you want. So let's say I want this style. So when you choose, the design will be there. So I want only for this section. Okay. Why are you choosing public? Okay, maybe I need to select section I want for page. I take it back to the other page. Choose the section I want. Other sections, I have to take them out first. Let's say I want this. Choose this. Apply to this section. I'm even selecting everything now on only one section. Borders and sheets. Page border. Apply to this section. This section. First page. This section. All except. Otherwise, using instead of set this section. Okay, so we move on. So we move to shades, add shades to text. So to add shades to text, you highlight your text. So you highlight your text, then where you want to apply the shades to, then you choose. So the same borders and shades option, but this time you choose shades. So you click on the drop down for that. So you choose the borders and shade. So there you choose the shading aspect. In the shading aspect, you choose the patterns you want. So in the patterns you want, you just click on. So if I want this particular pattern, maybe some percentage of, so if I want this particular pattern, maybe 90%, then I can choose the color of it that I want. So if I want this color, have it. Then, okay. Now if I want to border it, so if I want to as well border it, then I can border the shades. Or borders. So I put borders around it. Okay. So that's the shading. So the star, the type of star you want to shade it, you can shade it as well. Okay, so that's for borders and shades. You can style this one the way you want. Borders around it, as I've done previously. Now, to add border to a particular page, you need to insert a page break before we'll be able to add border to only that section of the page. So that one we will talk about page break in our subsequent weeks. So when we get there, I will try my best to remember so that we'll go back to only putting the borders around only one particular page, not the entire page. So we'll get back to this particular task just to border only one page. Okay. But if it's not only for only one page, you can choose just the borders and shading. So that one, if it's not for only one particular, you don't need the page break. So that one you can choose any of these options. Or document this section, first page only, this section, no, except first page. Okay. But for a particular page, you need to use the page break, and we are here to talk about the page break. So when we get there, then we will add this one to it. Okay. So that is it for today, but we will take a recap of the things we've done, then we call it for the day. Okay. So we talk about the shading. So to add shades to text, you go to the borders and shades, then you click on the last option, which talks about, it gives the option for borders and shade. Then once you click on it, if you want to put a shade for a particular text, first you have to highlight the text. So you first of all have to highlight the text, then you can choose the shading that you want. So if you want the particular pattern, the patterns, you just choose the star and the color. Then if you want to have borders for the selected text, then you also choose the type of border you want for the text. Okay, so that is it for borders and shading. Then you can border an entire page. So if you can also border one particular page, you can also border or accept the first page and the rest. So based on the option you want. Now for a particular page, we need to page break. So when we get to page break, then we'll talk about this option as well. So that's it for borders and shades. Then you can indent, you can, by default, the line spacing is 1.0. So to change your line spacing, you just click on the line spacing icon or button, then you can choose the one that you want. So for the entire document, then you highlight the entire document, then you choose the line spacing that you want. For a particular option, you just highlight that option, then you choose the line spacing that you want. Now for a special line spacing, then you now need to click on the more icon for the paragraph dialog to show. Then you can change the setting as you want. So based on the one before and after, the values that you want. You can set it yourself as well. Then we talk about how to adjust the bullet indent. So if I click on the bullet, then you choose adjust list indent. Then the adjust list indent, we have the position, bullet position. The bullet position is from the left margin, their position. Then from the bullet and the text. So if you want to reduce the indents, then you can also change the value. So you right click indent. Then we also have bullets, list a number of bullets you can choose from. So you can either use the numbering one, you can use the regular bullets we have. You can use different options as well with the list. Then we have subscripts and superscripts. Okay, so this is supposed to be subscript icon. I'll update it later. So this superscript is supposed to be this one. Okay, so now it's for superscript. So you click on this for subscript. So you select. So you place your cursor in front of where you want it to the subscript to be, or superscript to be, in front of it. Then you click on it. Then you type in your subscript or superscript. Once you are done, you need to click there again to deselect your subscript or superscript. So once you are done, then you need to do that. The other subsequent thing should be typing or will be either subscript or superscript. So you need to deselect them. Then we talk about the bold, the italics, and the underline. So you go to the text declaration section where you can choose the option that you want. Okay, so the text declaration options you can choose. And the underlines too, we have different types of options. Okay. Then we talk about bordering, shading, putting shadow around the text, then highlighting the text. That one as well. Then we also talk about indenting paragraphs. So we have a list of indenting that we can apply. First indent, right indent, the decrease and increase indent, the marking indent. We talk about all of them. Then we talk about the text alignment. Align left, align center, justify, and the right. They are shortcuts. So if you want to center a text, you highlight the text, then Control E will center the text. So by default, the text is left aligned. And we also talk about how you can change the color of the text. So if for a particular text, you highlight the text, then you click on the color icon or button. Then the list comes, then you choose the color that you want. Then to change the case of a text, you highlight the text, then you click on the case icon. Then you then choose sentence case, lowercase, uppercase, capitalize each word, or toggle case based on what you want and the option you can choose. Okay. Then by default, your setting the style of your font is at normal and it's at calibri body. So if you want to buy the formal documentation, it types in Roman and the font size is 12. And normally we use no spacing. So if you want to adjust the space, then we can do it ourselves. So if anytime you choose any of these option changes. So it's better to choose this one before you choose on this option. And if you choose this one, choose any of this, to go back to the default. So the option you've done is useless. So first choose the style before you choose the font type and the font size. Okay, so that is it for today. So I believe you have a lovely day, and I will do my best to remember the bordering for only one page when we get to the page break section. One of the subsequent weeks, then we will refer to that in our week content. But if you want to contact me, you know where to contact me. You go to the home page. You first of all have to log in to your chat account. If you don't have an account, you log in. And if you have right to our YouTube channel too, you can subscribe. So anytime we post a video, then you can get the notification. So you can
Once you are following it, you can watch the video, fully understand the explanation to the content. So on the home page, where we have log in or create account to chat with Instructor. If you log in, there will be chat with Instructor over here. You can click on it and send me a message. So if you have any challenge, you can send me a message. And we can discuss what might be the issue and the solution to that issue. But until then, have a lovely day and hope to see you for the subsequent week. Bye.